everyone, this is Robin from Nest Soapery, and today we're making something a little different. If you follow me anywhere, you know that I typically do minimalist soaps or, bars that have a lot of white and then just like a focus color or a featured color on there. And instead, I made this on New Year's Eve, and it was kind of like a let's get one little last blast of creativity out there before I really start considering what I'm going to be doing for the next year, for 2022. And so I decided to do this soap. I was talking with my good friend Jazz, who she has a soap business as well, but she's located in a different area. And so she's like not a competitor or anything, she's just my good friend. And I mentioned to her which fragrance I was going to be using, and she sent me an image of, they're not abstract, but kind of abstracted flowers, and it was in all of these blues and greens and a little bit of yellow in there, and immediately I was off. I was already planning on doing a batch of soap, but this inspired me quite a bit. The fragrance I'm using today is called Rainfall and Sea Grass, and it's from this company called Island Escape Fragrances. They're based in Canada, but they also have US locations and UK locations, and I'll go ahead and put their information down in the description box so you can check it out. Their fragrances, every single one of them that I've used so far, has been amazing. The gal who owns the company reached out to me and asked if I would like to try some of them out in my upcoming soaps, and I was like, yes, of course. You ask any soap maker if they want to try out some fragrances for free, and they will say yes. So she had me go through their catalog, and I was immediately struck with how whimsical and magical all of their fragrance blends seemed. And I chose ones that I felt really spoke to me as I'm starting to kind of embrace more of like my witchy side, if you want to call it that. So, fragrances that are heavily rooted in herbs and things that you can find naturally. Those are the ones I chose. And every single one of them has been great. There's only one that I had that accelerated a little bit. But other than that, they've all performed brilliantly. So I've mixed up 5 different colors here. That first color that I poured was a mixture of Indigo Girls from Mad Micas and some activated charcoal to make it a little bit darker. The green is Envy from Mad Micas. The white color, now it kind of looks like a cream color right now, but that's because the fragrance oil has discolored the batter a little bit, but it's just turned white with titanium dioxide. And then this blue that I'm pouring is Blue Vibrance from Nurture Soap. And then I've got this yellow from Mad Micas. It's my favorite yellow. It's called Lala, or Lala. I think it's Lala. Whatever. You can correct me. Anyway, I'm starting off the pour with just kind of like concentric circles, pouring one into the other. And some of my followers over on Instagram said that this kind of looked like cosmic eggs, and I totally see that. But the good news is it's got a really great little color combination, and after the bar is done, you really don't see any of this because I've covered it all up with these abstracted flowers. So at one point, I got to the end of pouring the majority of my batter, and I decided to take a chopstick and kind of swirl through a little bit just to give it a little bit of visual interest. But again, you're not going to really see it once it's been covered up by those abstracted flowers. Then the next step is to go ahead and use all of the last bits of every single color that I've got here and kind of splatter it over the top. The blue, like the brighter blue, I dolloped down into circles, and the green I did the same thing with. Yellow kind of just splattered everywhere, and then the dark blue and the white is just kind of like Jackson Pollocked all over the dang place. And then I used a spoon to swirl the blue and swipe on the green to make it sort of look like leaves. And I think that this turned out looking sort of like Monet's lily pads. Have you ever seen those paintings? I'll put them up on the screen here so you can check it out. But kind of abstracted, and very watery looking, and really, really not my style. This is not something that I do, but it was really fun to do it. And in fact, this really inspired me. Now I want to do slabs of soap and paint over the top of them, or get my palette knife out and start to do like clumps of, soap that's at thick trace and see what I can do, make it more like an abstract painting, which would be totally out of my wheelhouse, but absolutely so fun for my brain. When I was in college, I went to art school and my focus was painting. And I did all of the classes on traditional painting, the traditional French and Dutch painting where it's layer upon layer upon layer of oil paints and underpainting and, trying to get all of the tones just right. And I mostly focused on figure work and portraiture and very concrete things. But then I got into one class, and it was this large scale abstract painting course, and it was awesome because for my final assignment, I took an 8 by 10 foot canvas that I constructed and stretched myself and created these huge swaths of color and layered in between them layers of resin so that when you get nice and up close, you can see the clear layers of resin and then the layers of color, like just like a wash of color, and then some parts the color is thicker and some parts it's more opaque. And it was so fun to just be able to get really nice up close looking at this huge canvas. And you could stand in one portion of it and then you step 1 foot to the left and suddenly you're looking at an entirely different painting, even though it's all on the same canvas. So as much as this isn't a fully abstract piece, it really does inspire me to maybe do some more abstract soap making. Let me know in the comment section if that's something that you guys would be interested in, because it's something that I feel my brain is craving. I won't be stopping all of my minimalist and very clean, modern looking soap, but I think every once in a while it would be fun to get in there and just get messy. And this soap is actually special for another reason as well. This is the first soap that I'm able to slice using my Buds Workshop log splitter. I asked my father-in-law for this. Well, actually, he asked me what I would like for Christmas, and I let him know, hey, this is what I want, because I'm going to be starting to make more soaps in these giant slab molds that I had created for me. And up until now, I haven't really had a way to separate them into logs and then go ahead and slice them into bars without maybe messing it up by cutting in the wrong direction, or maybe my knife slips or something like that. So this will make it so much easier for me and will help me scale up my production quite a bit. After using my log splitter, it was time for me to go ahead and slice it into individual bars, and these are sliced into 3 by 3 inch squares, which is, I think, a pretty good size. And then I also had some leftovers that I'm going to be selling as half bars, for anyone who doesn't want to have a full bar. I know it's tough to commit to one fragrance for that long, so I like this option as well. After beveling, we have our final bars. This was one of my favorites that came out of this slab. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please give us a like and subscribe so you can continue to get all of this great content. Have a great day, guys.